Hi, I'm Gary White for Channel 6, Central Kentucky Television, and I'm here with Dr. Trish Ciccone at Central Kentucky Optometric Associates, here for our eye care news segments, where we keep the public informed on everything to do with your eyes. And today we're going to talk about heredity and eyes. So we all know heredity can have an impact on lots of different things in our whole entire body. Can it impact your eyes?
Oh, sure, yeah. Your refractive error, your refractive status, part of that, whether you're nearsighted, farsighted, have astigmatism, a big portion of that can be hereditary. If you have two parents that are nearsighted, I really recently just read an article about that. Their kids have over a 33% chance of being nearsighted when they reach adulthood. So refractive error, and you can definitely see it in families where, you know, all the kids are farsighted, all the kids are nearsighted, or the same kind of astigmatic patterns tend to be inherited in families. So your refractive errors certainly can be. There are other environmental and activities that can contribute to the formation or development of refractive errors also. So it's not just only hereditary, but your inheritance and your genetic makeup make a big portion of that.
So are there studies where you can kind of find out then, or just, I guess, by looking at your family members? Is there anything to do to prevent, potentially, some of them from impacting you?
Well, you can't change your genetics, so yes and no. You can't, I mean, you can't, but there are some environmental things, especially with kids and myopia development. There's some studies that are starting to show that kids who spend at least an hour of outside activity every day have less of a chance of becoming high myopes than kids who spend all their time indoors. So there are some, you know, environmental factors. There's some information coming out, evidence-based, that there are some things that you can do to slow myopic progression. Use of some bifocal contact lenses and multifocals in kids is starting to come to the forefront again with regards to myopic progression and slowing it down. Use of atropine drops in some, although the latest study with atropine really says that it might slow them down for a while, but then when you stop using the atropine, they go right back where, and their myopia increases when you stop using the atropine. So there are some there are some docs using ortho-K lenses that use gas permeable lenses that you sleep in at night and then take out during the day. There's some studies there that indicate that can help slow down myopic progression as well. So there are some things environmentally and therapeutically that you can do to kind of limit or try and slow myopic progression down. But you know, a big portion of it is genetic, and you can't change that. Some families have a certain types of cataracts that I've seen that, you know, you can say, well, yeah, you know, your sister had this type of cataract, or your parent had that kind of cataract. So, and again, but then cataracts can be environmental, or they can be related to physiological, or they can be related to certain medications that you take, or they can just be related because you lived longer than somebody else. So, you know, again, there can be inheritance and genetic makeup of certain types and certain patterns that occur, but again, there can be other factors. Macular degeneration is a big one. You can't change your genetics with macular degeneration. Those of us from northern European countries just generally have a higher incidence of macular degeneration than folks who come from families with heritage closer to the equator. You know, I can't change my genetics, so I can't change that part of that risk factor of developing macular degeneration, but I can change modifiable factors. I can not smoke, I can eat a diet rich in green leafy vegetables, and I can protect my eyes from UV and blue light. So again, I do have a genetic predisposition for macular degeneration myself because of my Irish heritage, but and I can't control that, but I can control other modifiable factors that can contribute to that. So the answer to that question is loaded, and the answer is yes and no.
That's why it's important to come see the doctors here at Central Kentucky Optometric Associates and share information about your family members, because some of them, like you said, if they're farsighted or nearsighted, they may have developed that because they were not doing what they should have done with their eyes, or it may be genetically predisposed.
Right.
So you can kind of help determine that or give you ways to maybe prevent it from occurring that soon if it is.
Or getting worse, you know, and that's the big thing now in eye care is trying to control myopia development, and there have been some studies and there is some evidence-based factors that there are some things that you can do to help at least ease and lessen the amount of myopia, trying to prevent someone from becoming a -6 and maybe holding them at a -3. The big E is still blurry either way, but folks who are -6 have a higher incidence of other pathological complications with their eyes. Retinal tears, holes, myopic degeneration, glaucoma occurs more readily in someone who's a -6 than it does in someone who's a -3. So even though you're genetically predisposed to be nearsighted, maybe if we intervened in some cases, maybe we could keep you at a -3 or a -4 instead of a -6 and help reduce some of those complications that can occur later in life.
Great. Well, again, I've been talking with Dr. Trish Ciccone at Central Kentucky Optometric Associates with offices in both Lebanon and Springfield. And call and make an appointment. And what's the phone numbers?
270-692-1871 in Lebanon, and in Springfield it's 859-336-9388.
Great. It's been Gary White for Channel 6, Central Kentucky Television. Thank you.